yen sikasem so. Our financial, being a faithful and responsible financial steward. I am fanchemi and brofono ni nam ni nemua. I had 3 words no. Edu baby and I had the minti fanchemi. But the whole week we've been thinking about where life meets lordship. Where life meets lordship. Abrabwa ye ni namwi no. Ni ye biya no. Ye wo ubia ye accountable to. Enu nti enye se ye ni namu keke. Nemu bibia ye biya no. Ye ubia ezese ye koyi ya no ewo ne ho. Enti se ye ubia ezese ye koyi ya no wo ne ho de na kire se de ye biya no. We must do it in a very, very responsible way. Ye wa said ye say, ye nye ye norma se obi bia, nemum nye ye accountable to ye be yi ya no amano no. As I say, a ma wo no ne ye a guide de ye bia. Enti ye de ye ba ba dwendwen ho kakra no. Ye kwan a ya said ye say stewards. Ye be faso a ye be ye no ne ye no no kremu. Titu ya setna ewo mu hanom. Nti mepe se me share mi screen kakra na ya toa so. Okay. Okay, in the study of medical canon, we are going to be talking about responsible and faithful financial steward. Normally, I'm a person at the end of yen komodie we no ye betumi anyanti asie kakra na ye betumi etumi ye de atu anamo no ma chichemu into 3 parts. Ni di kan no say ye develop how we develop a spending plan. Ye tosu mienu no credit management. And ye chatwo no ebeye taxes. Na de ministry ni abusuafo me pesenka me go through sections miensa we nyina na me disia na afi de ye bie kwan no na ye bisa questions ni nyina ato adwen. De me ye wie ne se me di ade nanim keke. Ye nyina ye wa adwen a nyame de ama ye nya ye betumi di ato adwen kwan a ye befa so a ya sitina okrodua mu hanom no. You betumi live in a very responsible and faithful way. Ye sikasemu na hye onyankopon animunyam. Enti norma ye bedi hu nkomonie. Mesre moma ye mompa ye tiawa. Otumfo nyame ye da wase. Ewie akwanya wa mayen se ye mehie mu se abusua na ye medwendwen yen ho asetina okrodua mu ha. Ene norma ye betumi aye wo yenya ya brabo mu betumi apagya wo nyame wodi. Mesraw bedi manim na beka ye ho ya nkomodie yi mu. Ye bewie no na ye de aseda enikabea na ema ho. Ye da wase Yesu din mu nti. Amen.
Amen.
Enti agidifo said ye maka no. Trosem no anopa am say elder kasa no, and I'm sure so this week in any month we in verse we dey so near refia ya tia Luke 14:28 to 30 or say for which of you intending to build a tower does not sit down first and count the cost whether he or she has enough to finish it, lest after he or she has laid the foundation and is not able to finish, all who see it begin to mock him or her, saying, this man began to build and was not able to finish. Trosem no ema yen fapima yigina so say, ni ye wa asetena yi mu bia titru ye nsikasɛm mu no yentumi nye abra yenye enhyehyeye ento ho sentini says wa nye enhyehyeye a wode wo nan bekwa akosi adekro mu wode wo nsa bekwa akosom na afi obeduru kwantimfi no na waka na wa wontumi nkɔ w'anim onso a wontumi nsan w'akyi enti ehu hia sɛ yɛbɛyɛ yasudie ana yasadie yie sɛ asomfo a ɛsɛ sɛ yɛma enhyehyeye ɛda ho titru yesikasɛm mu na Benjamin Franklin kan asɛm bi wɔ se if you fail to plan you plan to fail bibia wo ye no enhyehyeye ɛsɛ sɛ ɛda ho na ɔsɛ sɛ woanyɛ nhyehyeye de a na ne de wo ye ne sɛ wo nhyehyeye a wa ye ne sɛ wo ye nhyehyeye sɛ wobedi nkuguo. In the absence of a plan, that means the real plan you have is your plan and say you will fail because we need be a guide. Intina me kan say yensi kasem mu no nkunimudie and our success in our finances does not come by accident. It takes planning, knowing where you are heading and how you will get there. Na to the bia ye nipa ya setena mu no we always say oh yeah me pese me yewe me nim mo hode but me Ghana fo me ne omosan kakra no de ye were a lot of plans ye wo enhyehyeye bebre ye wo no ma ye pese ye tumi di hu komo ka hu nsem bebre but most of the time no we don't document it. We don't have an actual road mapper, LED into baby cry a person econo. And to me can say a goal not written down is just a dream. So I didn't know trim unsusu ya no na odwin se obeye na se wan twro wan nya nto ho wan nya nhyehyɛ bi anto ho a abusuafo it will only be say as a die so bi na wo so. Esan se wo twro de to ho wo ye ho nhyehyɛ a eboa wo ma utumi tu ho anamo utumi di si wani so oh afi we de mpese me yenie enti first quarter first 3 months de me ye ne de me ye ne ebetumi ede madru sa abotaye no ho enti in the absence of a written goal no, it is only a dream na yesikasem mu no one major thing aya ema ye ho kyere ye na ema yesikasem entan koye ne se ye mudodo na yemfa nhyehyɛ ento yensikasɛm ho nti awie mo nim mi kakra no wo line isu die enim sɛ me ye obi a I really believe in having a spending plan ye de ye nhyehyɛ ato ye sika ho esan sɛ adofo sɛ wo sika sɛsɛn nhyehyɛ na ho a ubehu no sika no hu de odebeye na ayira sometimes afeno so a yemu bitumi bi say hu say oje W2 adwuma mu ye de mawa utumi bi say hu say enti ade sika o mo kan wo so yi say sika we pa na ba me nsem afi esan sa wo hwemu a unhu ba bi sika na fa because say sika we na ba wo nsem ase wa adwin mu no nke say bi wo ho no ana ubisa ho se sika we ye ba me nse me den pa na me de ye enu nti agidifo ehia se ye nhyehyeye eto ye nsikasem ho nti ye ka se spending plan ye beti no bebre se budget eye ade a nhyehyeye ye ato ye nsikasem ho na aboa ye ami ehu se sika e ba ye nsem no ene kwan a ye use sika no ye wo sika enough and I need sika enough to do what we want to do. Into a say budget no eboayen ema yetumi hu ene ayeti hei say bosumi we no ma me de esi mani so yi no me wo sika me de beye sa no ma no because wa anya budget de eba ne say why wadwin say wo ye no ma no sika no ba na ode ye sika no ba na ode afi de obeduru ba bi no wakoka nkwantimfi sika no a enso ade kra wo ye no onso a uni bi wo ba bi a wo de ye enti ehu hia se budget eto yen sikasem ho. Na pay bebre woka budget a obi si ho me de accountant. Agidifo me kana wie say unhia sa obeya an accountant. Ana unhia say wakọ sikasem ho school na watumi aye budget. Budget no de akire nyina ne say hunu wusika a eba wonsem. Na hwe de wudi sika no ye. Enti wo chro utumi fa book no aka say oh me bosumi bia no ana sika eba me nsem no na wotwe bia ye sei me ka bomu bosumi na wotwe enan a which is bosumi a sika sei na eba na sei ni na me de ye. Enti ye kasa budget a me pese me ka no say ye nyina obia betumi aye bi. Unhia say wo ko obi a wakọ hu school na otumi aye san hyehyeye no ama wo. Utumi fa book any paper na wa ye nhyehyeye ato sikasem ho. Enti the next few slides ye beko ye kase ye budget a eden kura na ehia na etumi aye budget no. Ye nyina ye mudodo na sa wo ye adwuma nko ade a at least wo bank account. What efie bi mu a anasa wo rent o wo fie o whatever you will live wo ba bi nko ade a wo bills. Enti ye kase budget a opese put a budget together na edi kan ne say show bank statement bibia we use sika on to say o light bill o telephone bill o gas bill o mortgage o rent unim amount a utua enna aketua nso unim sika eba wonsem sisa saa no mani nyina na botaye ne say wo hwe no wahu say bosumi mu ana na otwe bia say na me nsaka no akeka abomu na afi de ode aye nhyehyeye e de ato sikasem ho. Enti wo gada saa no mani nyina wi a make sure say wo sika bia eba wonsem no o account for it. Sometimes you bi wo hono ma maybe na wa wo adwuma a wo ye ana say wo ye adwuma ma obi enunti like you are a contract employee ana say bibi nti sika no ye tua wo ka na aba wonsem saa sika ni nyina bibia wo gina so de bo wa brabo bia no e wo sikasem mu no kani nyina bom na chro make sure so account for ni nyina na mra account for ni nyina no what me de ayesa anhyehyeye no eto da bia yenya ye adwuma ye ma ye paycheck no obi a o sinti ade no me ye me budget na emu de he na me de ye me gross no sika na ye si etua na de ya tetete taxes ni na free mu na ese me de ye de wo mu ne se de ya tetete taxes ni na free mu a ye friend no net paycheck no ana se take home pay no eno na ese o de ye esanse okofa de ye tua ni nyina ye nya tetete taxes free mu na o de no ye nhyehyeye a enye ye esanse aban etete ni de free mu na de aka no na aba bedi wonsem enti de abedi wonsem no eno na wo a wo de ba ba ye wo nhyehyeye efa wo sikasem ho enti no o take home pay no na ese wo de ye na sa okeka sa no mani nyina bomu a agidifo you write down a list of all the expected expenses that you plan on incurring over a course of a month. Me kind of say a course of a month because yesikasem a ehia se look at it from a monthly basis. Into wo hwe bosumi ni nyina no because your light bill you tua no once a month, your phone bill you tua no once a month, your rent a monthly, and no maybe wo hono ma ye no monthly. Enti no etwa se wo ye no on a monthly basis. Na afi no pa wachichechiche mu okay. So you tua wo ka na watwe bia what me dia yan hyehyeye say okay. Bosumi we no eka esese me boni ho nhyehyeye da ho ni nti se me chemu na awotwe enan a na awotwe bia sei na ese metumi di enya to ho a ebeboa me matumi amiti sa goal no enti wo list to expenses no said the amateur hanom no wo rent se wo car payment a wo ya se wo twerɛ no to ho no se wo wo car bia no minim say ye mra se wo car insurance enti car insurance or electricity bill bibia wo spend sika on bia no so church sa no ma no to ho na wo church to ho no ma watumi akeka bom na wo de aye wo sikasem ho enhyehyeye na ebe sikasem mu a ana ye normal ye spend ye sika e wo ono a expenses na ye frɛ bibi ebi wo ho no ma ye friend say ye fixed expenses and ebi nso wo ho ye variable ni tia wo mu nyina ne say enoma bi wo ho no ma sika no bosumi bia ewa amount I was spending on ensesa from month to month. Ebi ne say or rent unless you until see a betum no say $200 a month bosumi bia 200 na wutua. Phone bill mainly no a fixed amount be a wutua, so internet or car payment a your normal be a fixed. So normal no esan say fixed intino. Won't mean sesano from bosumi to bosumi. Enti ehia se wo trotro no ma wo de usika ye na wo modern se wo segregate no wo chemu na wo hu se we mo ye fixed expenses and na we ye variable because the variable no eno ye no ma obusumi we me bi aduane se mu no wo spend it $200 but next month wo birthday party bi e banti no ko spend it $300. The following month na mo ye program bi wa sorry nti wo ye extra normal bi na ma osika akoso sa normal no enye fix nje se otumi che osika se o normal wo spend osika no on no and segregate them in that way ebe boa wa mo atumi ehu se de wo be ye den wo be keep on sika sam variable expenses no bi no menka bibi wo fixed expenses no asem we meka aya na nipa bi ene me enya adwen but me ma adwen de ye me no ye ka ye fixed expenses obi say mortgage no rent ne car payments and the twa se wuye ba me nso me gidi say as a Christopher yen tithe me believe say yen tithe and so should be considered a fixed expense. The entire me can say a fixed expense and say onyankopon ahye yen say yen famra waka kire yen the percentage no waka e fixed. Enti no wo ye wo nkonta no se wo de wo tithe any the other wo nyame asafo no I want to submit say it should be part of your fixed expenses na nkwese wo busumi we erade wo hu se me ho kire minti kakra me de brew ni next month de me gige me taxes no sika ba me nsem ti afa de erade me de bebre brew. I believe say yen tithe and offering should be part of our fixed expenses. Enti yehu normal you spend in sika no on nibia but aye no nyina ne say wo keka fixed expenses na bom wo keka variable expenses na bom na wodi ni nyina eka bom a wahwe say sika won say ka in the month no ebeso saa no ma na wo ye no but aye ni nyina no se enso a memfa ne say wo keka wa yi ni nyina bom na se sika eba won nsem no esuasen sika wo spend no a kire wo se uni sika dodo a wo de be yesa no mani nyina enu ntine yesa wo hya ase hwe ba bi a wo be yi no mani bi afiri se de be ya wasetena mu nso betumi ahenhan wo enu nti ekoduru sampempenso na ho na no ahya ase hwe se okay untumi ngoka se wuntua o rent nyame sika untumi mfani o car payment untumi nka se wuntua enti de ye fix no de opo wu mpo etwa se o make provision now take care of sa no man but the variable no ebia no aye wa adwen se na watwe bia me de nkwara no beko ne akwa akoto ice cream na watwe bia me de on beko ne akwa hwe movie bi me de on beko ne akwa akoyesei se wo keka no ma ne bom na se osika no eba no esuasen de wo de sika no ye no a ebia na nye na watwe bia na afi no ese wo de wo mko ice cream maybe some so ba once a month and every other week na aboa but aye no nyina ne se wo keka no ma na bom se de be ya wo sika eba won nsem no ene de wo spend no on no ebe come to zero and na so betumi anya bimpo e de ato akiri se wo keka bomu a se de medical aka no wo keka bomu na se enoma no eni nyina ntumi nsi ani a na ne se wo ye nhyehyeye na wo tetetete no mani bi so ehɔ na duru ba bi a na emu bi a ese ade we hia se mi yo etwa se mi yo agidifo se etwa se wo ye de a the woman ne se esese baby give something has to give for you to be able to do it. It's an se wa anye ne sa Now, or spending more than you have now. The children say the next month, ebebano. Now already know the kadaho. Into we seek no a ebano. Already know, and so that. And once I boka to actually. Into na shall say the wura ekemu. Na shall say the wura ekemu. And now say, so what you no man no, it was away and so maybe a juma back on away. It may be said as all pay juma second one come say, sa no man won't mean about it. So to me pay another source of income. A bit to me a support to sa or lifestyle and answer near wo ye no. But send no pa elder ma yeti asiye no so no. E to de bia etwa se ye katimu because o pre na wo ko wani na me ko ye adwuma second one aka ho ne ye a egidifo na ye nipadua na nyame se ye nhwe so no na ehɔ no ya sɛde esese ye no na enko yie papa ye nhwe ne yie na eno nso ya ade a onyankopɔn ebetumi abisa ye ho asɛm empem bebre ye mu bi wɔ hɔ nso ka ne sɛ oh me wo budget my budget but I did for no cray home say you can have a budget on paper. Budget bia wa one monitor no. Won hwe say osi o busumi me spend $200 we aduane. And no answer wo toto aduane na wo ye aduane na wudi. Won hwe say hey me bro 200 no so anasa man bro so a bibia obeye won monitor won review no. Sabio nanko wa anyimpo anka mfaso wo so enu nti ehu hia pa se wo ye budget na enye so ya kase ye nyinti no atwro na eda ho no mo keke but modern say wo be monitor enti maybe busu na watwemienu twam a hwe wo ho na hwese ade ye kan se aduane sika ye spend 300 busumi no epa mu no already I spend 250 enti e kire say the rest of the month now what you mean aka technically $50 penny a wo aduane sem ho because say you spend more than 50 it will mean say obi sika ne yedi enti ye hia say ye review ye in budget no ye review ebeboa ye ni yehu baabi a ekoyie eni baabi a enkoyie enti agirifo me pese me kan say yen hihye mu no yen sikasem mu no se ye ahwesofo yi no nyankopon ehwehwe yen se ye de nhihye betu yen sikasem ho na san nhihye no normal bebre ene go into it wo ya endwen sabio wonko a woni wabusuafo ho aminim se na watwi mu yate nsem bebre enenso yate bi anopa no enye wonko a wo ho dwen mobroni bi ho dwen obi owa asafoni mu ho yenwenwen ye ho na ye nhihye mu no yentumi plan for sankofo ni nyina se wa anya nhihye anto sikasem ho a wanhwe ye beduru baabi no na adane ani hane na ama asetena mu no ma akire so ama odan ho baabi a entwa na afei no nyame na ne ahya ase ebo no sobo nenso no efiri yenya enhyehyeye a ya nya mfa yesikasem nti ehu hia se ye enhyehyeye eto yensikasem ho page we was we esu sakakra de but eyi bia me copy free internet obi sample budget bia no aye enti nipa we no waye no se wo hwesoro ho no mo se income just o so minim so one ne yiro senso adwuma mienu no ni akro ye o but sika e ba wo mo nsem bosumi ni mu nyina no 7084 enti ne 7084 no fa ma nhwe calculation on the tithe ne offering no enti minim percentage e wo so but was it ne expenses e so ye no ne tithe ene ne offering no de edi kan wo ho de to so ye ne mortgage ana ne rent o se aduane sika yeso wo mo spending ni enti wachecheche ni sika ni mu a oba section bia o se utilities nso gas the spend no electricity insuo trash ni telephone ne no manyina no wa yes anhyeche ni nyina okeka ni nyina bo mu no o se ase ho no wo se de be ono anso de be bo ne ho bra busumi bia ono ama ne ho $200 say so ono nso de ye de opeso ode na bra ode ye na bra bo afei nso wo se na busua nso no omo $100 busumi bia Enti wakeka ni nyina bomu no. Sika eba ne nsem ye 7,000 ene kakra bi. Wakeka ni nyina bomu wose eka ne no ma me di mi sika ne ye nso no. Eye 6,004. That means on the ni try ye kakra wa ekire. Enti kakra wa ekire no wose wode beto savings mu because ekina bi no bibi beba be bomu a na eseso wo ye a woni hu sika. Okeka bomu no wose okay bibi so bo ha beba be bomu a menye ho nhyehyeye enti wasan ma ne ho contingency of $100 a month. Enti uka ni nyina bomu a na ekire se sika eba ne nsem no wa ye nhyehyeye a ebia sika no de ode be ye se de be ye a obetumi etumi amanage ni sika sem ni ye. Se wa anye sa de we ya nipa we wonye we ya ubehu ana sika no ba no spend ebeduru ba bi no na wakwa akodeka enti ni tie wa mu a abusuafo sa part we de mpese meka ne se yebetumi aye ya sede na ya ye nokware difo ewo ye sika sem se ohwesofo a we must media meka no se eye must etwa se ye enhyehyeye eto ye sika sem ho. Don't just spend what coming, but make a plan and track it. Na bomodin ebeboa motumi aye usika semu yie na wanya bi di aboa onyankopon adwuma. Apart from a tithe and offering no needs was afonimu eduru ba bia esese ye boa enkora bi school sika eduru ba bia esese ye project bi yetumi koboa sabio enye wo tithe and offering no ne ye de koye saa no ma no ba so wa anya saa nhyehyeye we ya ebeye din se usika sem ebetumi akoyie. Enti samre me transition into credit management. Omaya ya bepie mu ide na me wo Ghana no mete na credit and loan loans companies bi wo ho no ma me kai se me si so foforo me bi school a me konya me a me dan a me sha se me bo me bra nkakra no me se me hia TV wo me dan mu TV no nso na me ni sika me de kwa akoto me sika no na esua na mete se corporation housing and corporation bank ewo some credit no ma bi omo ye nti ye hwesika a woje busumi bia wo de pay stub ko ne no ma na eja o ma hwemu na afi de omo se okay kofi ye betumi di TV ama busumi bia obetuatua sei. That was the first time I actually heard about credit concept no by cause ekromu ha de ehu hia yie pa se nye sika bi mpo na wo kope a wo kope dan keke mpo a rent a ye check your credit a report just to make sure say nipa we a ye de dan impo manu we obi a obetumi atua o obi a obetumi aye na brabo mu tesen enti o man a ya bepie mu ide o pewu mpew so obekwa akobo besia o nkobo besia o credit hu hia yie pa na etoda bi a aya na ye nti ase wo credit mu no aya etai de yeko ensam breyen me kai se me ba krumu ha foforo no na ye asori panyi ba ko wa hanom me nda bi awia adesua bi mse ya no the one page document bi ebreye na o se abusuafo me de afutuo ba ko amema mo krumu ha mabai ne se ne ya ba school ye school for be se edu o se afutuo am de mema mo nyina ne se paper we am de amamu is about credit. So wasetena be ko yie okromu hanom a bomodin se sa de we wode be ye adwuma na mimom de aboa me bebre enti credit no nyina ne se besia opese etwase wo ye bibi ba woni ho aka de enti no obi gina wo credit no so aka se okay kofi de me be mani sika we because ye gidi se kofi betumi atua ye sika back amaye credit ni nyina na se kire no ade na opese wo ye no maybe wuni ho aka de usika no nso ba etwase wo ye sometimes e bi ye car sabi we okromu hanom no maybe East Coast there a little bit better but maybe bia me we there public transportation eniha enti upo wumpo so opeka se wuni car ohun be kire sometimes car ni bi nso obekwa akonya no mokoto $1,000 de bia ene o se ne hune ekina o se ne nan adekye o se na pampamu afa obewi ase no na sika a wa spend on no na edos bebre enti na etwa se upo wumpo ukope car bi Yes, a car near 5,000. Only 5,000 na da ho. And unti o credit and a bebwa maka and what me aye enya. Na what me di akwa adwuma etumi aye adwuma no enya sika ni bi nso di abobra. Enti ya sit na okrodua mu ha no abusuafo credit hu hia yie pa. Enti kwan ben so ne ye fa so a yenya credit no. I say establishing a credit history is important when consumers decide to purchase a car, a home, or rent a place, or get any type of loan. Now, lenders, no, they like to see a pattern of credit history and use that they use in deciding on whether to give you a loan and the interest loan. So credit in ya. Yabema obesi ani bi but nsi hu a yede besi hu no ube wie no na kye se msanka besi an bo wankwaji anka eye nti and that is one of the reasons say your credit ye di hu dwuma na ye hwe no yie esan se ye kan se yebema osika no mpo a nsi hu a yede be ma wo no e fana egina wo credit score ho ye kope credit cards nso sometimes e bi wo no mo a ahokyere na be nti no ana wuhia de kura nti na ne de de be ma obia no wasom and time wa credit cards bi wo hono ma ye wo annual fee a wutua wo ho credit cards ni bi wo hono mo nso a fees ni ho nti me pe card a me head ya fees eni ho no because a fee wo ho a je say wo di use sika no na afi bia nso ye say wutua a fee e wo ho nti etwa say ye hwesa no ma ni yie ehu hia oman a yaba be pie mu na obi be bisa say credit numpo no nya bia kwan ben so na one bitumi hye ase e build me encourage you bia me madwin mu no me encourage you bia don't just go get a credit because you just want to get a credit but asitine wo krodua mu hanti no I will highly encourage a bank account nko ade a talk to your bankers and try to get a credit card. The entire American sana say, and yes, I will na say you was spend the cover be two any. But our card nibia maybe $500 credit limit. So when you say want to mean monetary ya na want to mean just $500. Now what dear? Who could do uja? Fasa card no tua because edwana okodi nanka wo hu sika say ne dwa me kodi $100 na me kodi dwa fa card no tua $100 no wo ba ana bosome no so say e due pa na 100 no wo de akwa kotua ana wo ba ya within 2 weeks at the maximum no wo credit card no e be ba beto so say wo de ato ade $100 na 100 na na ekura wanka wo de kono na wo de akwa kotua. And yes, but it's a way that you use in building credit. And me encourage you so when you any other means I'll bet me what credit card be and now will be build a credit for you talk to your bankers, get like a minimum what they $500 and that's a $300 credit card. Nafa sha say build a credit because here for wadachi. And then here for sitting on crude nyame yo adom na otumi e wo no ma a wo de ye creditor normal bi a eboa ma otumi maintain a good credit na sa ofan we may be ka ho asem kakra bi o bills say wutua no you need to pay them on time so woko use card na yes say on the 5th of the month and yes say wutua sika a wo use no enti 5th no dura but modern say obekwa kotua me de mpo de me bomodin say tua no before the 5th no it goes back to nhyehyeye we yisikasem ho no so unim se obe use credit card no why nhyehyeye usikasem nim so okay busumi bia na credit cards a me wo no sika ama spend no me wo ho esese metua $100 a month na why nhyehyeye nse de be ya date no beduru se ubetua no na 100 no e wo ho no ma wo de kwa kotua pay it on time. Adie baako a affect credit score kese pa ye mode of payment. If you don't pay on time, it will adversely affect your credit card, your credit score, and our credit history. Now, most of the credit cards, most of the lenders, no automatic payment. So, oh yeah, ubia a refie kakrawa oswa. na maybe you be fear. The best thing is set automatic payments. What you can do with automatic payment is while bet me I can say bosumi bia yente $10. Bosumi bia yente $50. But whatever you do, so set automatic payments in part at the minimum, but more than so betia minimum almost tuya. Because you sit you 25, now kukutia 15, and now kutia 20. In Sihono and air cosro. In Juberia, sieno, Sikaka Crowd, na kwako ibuja, na fede the car air baby doing. Ain't but more than so bills will be to even electricity bill or gas bill. So no money no but more than so be on time. It's answer why sa a beboa or credit history no credit score ye pa. After so a crime back one for so maintaining a good credit and say the longer your credit history no, the better it is on your score. And until me encourage you say wouldn't be a build a credit amawa at least per card be na fair no shasi because you be sure we see kasemu and obi be sure so be ma obesi anase bibia one thing I omo hwe ne say kofimpo no ni sikasemu no one was time ben was shasi say your man obesi say you na ode no e be 2-3 years per history o ho no a sometimes they can say ade no kofi yenya hu ni yie ebi a first 3 years we and they were born home modern but maybe no a risky person and unti ne hia say so when you are dream so be use our credit card no man just to have a lengthy credit history ntino e hia say utumi nya bibia e be boa no ahia ase e build a credit no na no ade ba ko amekanie sometimes asitina okrodua mu hanom no ye ba hanom a ebia oba no wona nyame bie kwan ma utumi baaye awo won krata ebia na be ma no oni ne krata ebi nso ho no ma maybe a vice versa be ma no na won krata oba no ni krata ade ba ko a masua ma mati ase wo ha oman yi mu ne se wonne wo yire wo ho no ma adofo no me encourage you highly say wo be ma no ena wo akwanya watumi abie account a wo card you can add another person to the card obetumi do wo yire aka ho banks ni bi wo ho mpo a wo ma as early as akora no di 2 years no betumi ama wo ho kwan ama wo de akora na ka ho eno nkire se akora no ekwa ko use credit card no ana wo yire kwa ko use credit card no but this sense ni din eka ho a ye issue card ama ni ntino card no ebia abusua ni mwate mo ho ase se enye se mo de kwa ko didwa be ma no nko ani kura na oba no nko ani kura no mo betumi age the other ones na gu ho no mo. But what it does ne say more build the credit no and ye mi kofi mi din na oda ade no so na me de me yire afi aka ho de ye ne say air build me credit and even though it's under my social security number air build no it is also building me yire no so credit na no ne normal bebre sometimes ye ntan ye enti wo ba you can add them to your credit card. Get a card for them. You can just take the card and keep it in the house yourself. But what it does for Akorano is say it's also helping the kid to build a credit history. Into obedi emfie du nwotwe a ono nso ahia ase pe no ma bi no na wo a history bi wo hono ma ebeboa no. Nti eno ya ade ba ko a I will recommend say ye modern say ye beye. Afen nso no say opese maintain a good credit a score. Make sure say your amount card near $1,000 near limit near the amawa. But more than say ungongo 2,000 nina. So who 2,000 nina maybe yen share say emre no so say wutua na wutua because o credit history no credit score no man. The higher you are spending say 1,000 na time bia wa spend 1,000 nina na say bi na akira e bi sika ni bi ni so a omo ye omo se akwa we jama ne ho kire no akwa we jama sikasem nkoyie enu nti na wo use sika no wo use sika nti it sometimes affects you negatively enti omo ye sa adwuma we no bankers no ne no ma bebre omo kan say ideally no ubenya so credit limit near $1,000 a o bomodin say obe spend be 300 na time bia 700 de chiri that is the recommendation, but sometimes no situation be honoma etwasa wutwi ade ni nyina, but wutwi ni nyina so abo modern sell be nhihye as soon as possible to pay it off. Said the be ya emma o credit utilization no nya kese bebre, because the term bia na ehu se we use sika ni nyina emma we a little bit risky. Nti edu ba bi mpo a wanye careful on be raise your credit interest no ne no ma bebre ewo saa ekwan no so. You do not need to revolve on credit cards to get a good score. Sometimes we'll be doing say, oh, me will wait, no majiwe, ebwa ma wunya a good score. There be ba kupempa. Now bomodin u payments you on time. Won't spend this nyina, bomodin se wutuetua. It will help you build a very good credit history and for that matter, a good credit score. Only apply for credit that you need. Sometimes, lenders, no bankers, no new obiano, faso. In Chicobie mail, Ubu answer near bro pre-approved 5,000, pre-approved 3,000, pre-approved 1,000. Yeah, near Quacoji. O CEO Sabio may be a me project be a me or Ghana, my member when Koyana men now when I'm in Tian and Kakran Kakra. At the end, say, nya card noa. Just keep one because we hear cards bebre. Just nya ba kwa ubota and say they build a credit history. But don't just apply for applying sake. Sometimes you mutu do na mako Macy's zame koto ade. You see an idea I'm 20% off. Oko counter one near san kachiro. Oh, so Macy's card you better another 20% off a free swama. Share house, hey, 2020, I didn't care $100 to 20 way, 20 way, 40% near TFs into I didn't get them 200. No, so me apply for one card. Be mammy $60 pay for it. And until no aqua, no more run or credit. The woman say the more I run or credit, no. Say you run it near fat credit card now, ma you deny wa. Akoshe so. Akoshe score no or credit report no so. And the air catcher and Kofwan say, nipa we. I say, uhia sika so wako yemfama no. I didn't yemfama no. Maybe because yes, you're risking tini yemfama no. Into who here say, and just apply for a credit card just because. But make sure say, uhia. Back on there, get it. But subsequent ones beyond, if it's not a need, I will highly advise say, don't just apply because the abroad say, oh, you pre-approval, no akwakoje. Okay. Credit no. There be a credit score, any other cancel. Credit score no, maximum I'll bet me 850. Into a match chichichimu. Free 700 and something to 859. Yes, excellent credit score. Or match chichichimu or credit score no ye below 500 honoma. I am not a wedding kakra so uni credit good papa enti eno no se be ma obibi mpo a I am not in sihuno akoye kese bebre. But see tiase a ofan we dem pese nyina tiase ye sa o score no a wo no a day pa ne determines our score no eno ho asem ne ye bekan. The first thing medical ka ho asem anim ho say u payments are very important. The first thing a credit score mu u payment history. Abusuafo eno nko aye 35% of o credit score no. Nji say o credit score no 100 a emu 35 ejina how often you pay you make your payments. So utua late and utua nentem. Enunti ehia se yetua yen credit cards no ana ekabia yede no payments essentially and we need to be on time because eno kwa 35% of your score. The next adie the debt level na ana make can say sika na yede amount no ye hwe say okay maybe we 2 credit cards we so 1,000 was we 2,000 na was so ye kan mi enu bomu a 3,000 no was spend emu 2009 and aye kada honom it was hosa yes there be akwa we risky and on kwa 30% of our score no enti hwe say wuntua o payments on time na fe nso no Woka a limited the amounts where disikani nyina and nko is 65% of your credit score no. And Jesus anoma we would ye nko yi a de bia na credit score no e wo form. De bia na e wo form, de bia na e wo form. The other thing I common is a length of history na make can say they be build a history say oh what shall I say you use credit for a long time no and not only makes up 15% of a credit score no. In this opposite of credit score to me cost through year pa payments no make them on time. But more than say sika the amount will spend the 30% of it pay and you see sika ni every time. Na length of say enquiries na make no say you go apply now ni deny wa and no affect your score no by 10% of your score no agina sa no man so na dey ba kwa mpese ye hye no so wa hani say wokoko apply for normal na and now ade no so afebo ye calculate your score no a the first normal enquiries are in your report no for the last 12 months no and no na omugina so e determine what score no and this maybe enquiries be a year 3-4 years ago see your credit score in the year and no play a big role but at the end his enquiries now credit report no so for 2 years but in determining your score no the most recent 1 year's activities no na omude ehwe saa enoma no afin so said the Namika first who are my menkoji way, na menkoji card ye, na menkoji fee dear, make a canning never my credit score na cost rokese. A mixture of credit, it only represents 10% of our score. Ain't and yet one different kinds now one and here. It's mainly the payment, the utilization of debt, and then they play a bigger role. Now, and how many people who ma oh yeah a boa ema to me say visika who tua o normal on time what it helps you to do ne say oh one more hwe wo normal along the line na ye okopa besia fufuro bia na okopa bibia ye say oh nipa we tua ne normal ntem ti no said you tua o normal ntem so nti no eno nko atumi affect credit interest ye de be ma for sa loan no ana ade a wo kwa akope no make a minimum payment once previously adeɛ baako a me encourage ye nyina ne sɛ ye do obi obrɛw na yɛsi 25 na betua wobetumi atua more than that abusuafo make sure sɛ wobetua nka ideally no opa uko use card na make sure sɛ wo hu sika ideally no enti ene ɛbaaye na no adekro no wo sika ndada na ode card no toy just so you can use it to build a credit no watua ma na free ho ubenya pa sika bia ode card no beto no ana o bebo besia ye no but modern say apart from car ni fie eno de untumi ntua free ho one time but credit card so de end but modern say nka bosumi bia de wa use no watua ma na free ho no say bi nti untumi nya saa try say you don't just pay the minimum because ujina minimum no nko anso a baby $500 a waje no when you be bounce no the 10 years ne betua sa $500 no na de ya ne say interest na ebe ka ho interest na ebe ka ho interest na ebe ka ho enu ntina banks no mo ya oh betua minimum utua minimum na ono de ya ma ne say onya more interest na aboa no ono na nya ne sika a wo pe enti saa no ma emienu ehuhia afen so say maybe we 2 credit cards na ohwe baako ye 5% interest e wo so baako ye 10% I will highly advise say a hona wo strategize you betumi aka say oh credit card no dey 5% no ene no no misika no en no so nti no say metua we na metua we me de metua no no mum ni minimum no as I pay the minimum on the interest rate ye katiketwa no na wo disika no fa akọ the interest rate no ye 10% no say de be ye obetua no every one term na afi no wo de say sika ni nyina wo di tua de 10% de no de abeka kakra na wo di tua minimum ha na wo de aba we nso so na aboa amwatumi atua eno nso every ho entem sometimes mu bebre wo ho no ma obehu ni abro 0% balance transfer ane mimi ameti hey balance transfer no eno na eboa me ba school ne normal na sika no eho eden eduru ba bi yeseme magi me certificate mpo na madwuma mu fo omo mo ame me nkrata asemu na me ni sika me de kwa tua school fees no na yetumi de me certificate amame na aboa me nkrata asemu me kwaje credit card na eho ayi ye be 30% enso meje ne saa because na me hia me certificate meje ya de ba ya na say akire me wa na me nya offer 0% for 1 year meje no na me transfer the 30,000 30% no na me de koto no so and sometimes it twasa wo yesa but who say but a 0% transfer offer bia de be ma no one there is a fee associated apart from fee no ya can't you say 0% to na can't you say for 6 months no kure wom ne say from day one no interest ni ahia se calculate to ho na calculate to ho in the 6 months no so na balance no say okode koto ade 600 na 6 months no so wuntua 600 na ka even $10 or so na 6 months 0% time no so na $10 no equal the next month pa interest on the entire 600 no near the above can work no na afedi adani si na esi wanim enti 0% there no eye say etwa say we use it but make sure say you pay it off within the time yes 0% no ewo ho no afei so yemu bebre ho a ye card na GIS na 10% no ani ete ho esanse yetua free wa yentua in 20 yenka ho hwe but you can negotiate with your creditors who use credit card no maybe for a little maybe 5-6 months now utua on time ye year obetumi afre o mo say busuafo modema mi na 10% o obetumi at interest me so ama me kakra you can talk with them negotiate with them and they can reduce those stuff for you. Afei ade ba ko a me pese me ka ho asem real quick ne say abusuafo check the fine print. Yen for any year before sometimes ye nyesa ade no ho ade ene say ya ne atro ade no nkete na wo ye do statement ne brewa fine print bi wo ho ye mu bebre no yen kan sa ade no ye ya ne ato atwene but the hot and semi govern wa ade ni nyina ewo esan says won kan sa no mana aya sometimes clause kiti bi hemu afi asembe ba we kan say no ade we ma ade na mo charge me sa ade we say okay one o kan ewo agreement ni mu enti mo me modern say e be kan fine print so card bi a wo je loan bi a wo kwa akwaje no mo mo nrahye ebi wo ho no say oh initial here just sign off here so won ti ade na say a ka kire om say omunya abotre ma wo pese wo kan ade no na wo hu de wo sign because wonya de udin sign so na wo insurance de no cheso a next time wo ba na ye kofa bibi the way wo na say wo contract ni mu a de ombe ka kire an say that was you signed it into mumenye modern say ye backing kan sa no ma no credit cards ni bi wo ho no ma emra mo mo kwan say they can give you 15 days notice to change the terms of the card. And unto unya bill no na saa no ma na omo de ja hihye mu no aye ntungu bo modern na hwehwe mu na bibi wo mu akan na hu sense san bi na eba mu a onso watumi ehu how a obe plan wo ho afei nso ye bills no bosumi bia read it ye wo bill no ba bie so na hwehwe mu a while back me card bi na ja me ho kyerkyere mi a me giye na me be cards 3 or 4 ba ku bi eda ho a me nyusu that could be me kokohwe ya bre me bill adan ya yese me de ato ade $400 me se me nkonko use ye me nkoto $400 ade bia obi a hack into ade no use de ato woolen jacket ewo edi Pakistan ena me ne bank na twen ya ena omote ase me prove kire omo se me ntu kwanko Pakistan me order bibia mo betumi aba behwe me no mamu and actually no omote ase reverse sa charges no maame enti ehia se ye hwe ye bill nim esan say ye do bill brewa emra kwan so you have 60 days to dispute any item e woso a wodwen say enye wo ano enti ye de ba no wan hwe na wo de okokotua ebewi ase no me de eboa me because na I was not using it but ade am use so wan hwe ya na nkama nkohu se obi de akwa ye bibi nti ye modern se ye behwe ye card so ye na bibi nkoyi afre o bank for no right then ofre o mo a omotumi correct ama the last thing I make on credit management ni say Wow, now good a credit a year, BBN. You have the actually we need credit a year. Social security number you have the right to get a credit report every year. There are 3 credit a year report companies: TransUnion, Equifax, and TransUnion, Equifax, and I'm drawing blank on the other one. But you have a free report every year. Bomodin say afibia obehwe report no je na hwe, request for it, check it, because obi wo hono ma ne obi afa wodin ene wo no ma omo hake no ma ne de akwako bi account bi unim ho hwe na ye de sell credit ento ehu hia se obegye o credit report afibia hwemu bibi nkoyi a for credit report company na sha ase ye ho adwuma so that it can be fixed. Credit management ebusuafo de me de besi no maybe take just the next bed 10-15 minutes. Na me de any year din komo about your taxes. Now to talk about that, no Bible text way minim say context I may be using no what kind Bible na enye context na Bible no de air kasa no, but I just feel that I need to use this to draw attention to something. For as if one small monk of war as one so Yesu ahe. Omoko no could be and say Yesu. They say yetua taxes Emma Caesar and I sense see a betua. Yen names are verse in the Bible, no. But part time a person shannon so say Emra or Yesu ebisa almost one fa sikani bin children now bisa almost when teen that's all can say Caesar no or can assembly verse 21 no Matthew 22:21 or say, and he said to them, render therefore to Caesar the things that are Caesar's, and to God the things that are God's. Ejidifo. Kromu ha yaba. There are obligations. And part of being a responsible and faithful steward, no, a kromu ha, one of it is paying your taxes. And unti no, sometimes I buy no hard and I miss kakakre minya and omsim metu tax near taxes no neja the bomb or mine hobra ebra. And yena etwa se etua yen taxes. Ye wa asudie say ye ti o man yi mu no ye tuatua sa no mani bi na ye de bo o man no ho bra. Challenge ba ko aya most of the time you want to say sabio taxes time dura say afi die ya twemu April 15 and say last week na due date, but corona ntini ye de akọ March 17 eduru wa ye mu bebre ye se ye kokko mre no ehọ na aso a ye ba bagi esika ye ba be ye na discussion what this section we know. We just need to be very careful in what we do about your taxes the same way. It's answer etwase etua, but etua no yentu ho anamon ye. Identicra na yourself file taxes. One of the reasons they say yetitu sika no to ho no ma na afe no so a ebia na sika wunya ye no yehwe woni wabusua a wo wa maybe a family of 3 to say a family of 3 maybe ni atete taxes no de atete to ho based on forms how fairly we adwuma mu no ami ate bebre ya to ho ti aban no say oh so we a family of 3 anka mo tax ese mutuani sika say na mo gi ade nka ese mutuani na che so mo keka bom we your taxes no ye yi a we ye due refund na ye de atete bro so no na ye de wa de abrew ebi nso ho ya say oh ebusuya we no sika amunya ye no in normal sense no enye say sika we ne de hwe ebusuya miensa na abanya ye say oh ye ma wo say yaka ho na mo de abomobra enti ehia no ehun enunti na ye say file taxes. One other thing so and say we pay taxes, we file taxes to protect our social security benefits, mainly for yenya ye self-employed people no. So one file taxes are let's say you are not paying into social security. So you're self-employed. And you won't pay into social security. That you will retire. There is nothing there for you. A buy a minimum amount to be a debema. And this way near Juma would into social security. Then Bosume Swa near the $300 a bro. Sabu 300 no into our rent and put campus. A barber show when you were bushia. Into we are self-employed, very important to file your taxes. Another thing they say, you avoid issues when you are obtaining loans. Obi a okope loan be especially a fee loan, and now say student loan. any normal, one of the things are babies are first thing your tax returns. In this one file tax returns now, unibia or the betchere na boao. A chasa will file taxes are for yemo modern set yebeyeno and temoso. File it on time. Don't wait till the last minute. Deadlines no mature or no say a business business you different business types. It be a partnerships, it be a S corps no partnerships no March 15 usually every year, but normally no a March 15 ena as a partnerships no S corps no file more taxes. Or your individual and now C corps, which is the other corporations, and your S corps now months more April 15. Now the say binti untumi no man can come over to me file taxes now. You can file for an extension. Extension no any automatic. Federal one no for sure it's not an automatic extension. It's a so file. So per se extend them usually we file about 6 months. Say okay within the next 6 months, brabe file with taxes. At the back on extension so who say maybe you file taxes now ka obey the car and so you are buying car. O file extension no nkyerɛ sɛ aban ɛde ho akyɛw. What aban does ne say date na nka ɛsɛ file te sɛ April 15 no a one file na sɛ wo extend a because na nka wobɛde kanti no. Oko file no 6 months down the road and 2 months 3 months down the road after the filing date na they start charging you interest from date na nka ɛsɛ file a one file no. Nti sɛ wo yɛ wo estimates na hu sɛ wo wobɛde car even if you've not filed the taxes, because what China causes all file one share interest ababeka hono na ama okano akwako doso inti yenche enon so. There will be a friend of statute of limitations. So afibia no so file taxes. Na me fan sanka file yenka so nya refunda. Na say binti one file ya emra ma ho kwan say you have up to 3 years to file and receive a refund no. In the advance a few way you me say o match ade na come match May 17th no. Say maybe I saw file na nka unya refund na say bin to went to me anya. You have until May 17, 2024 to file and get that refund no. Say 3 years no pa ho a abanya for usika na di untumi file for it bio. Afen so so we file taxes a buying wo ho kwan a buying emrama no ho kwan say 3 years on betumi a audit o enti afi me yusu afi we die bio May 17th no and a deadline wa be file o tax bia no say ne o file no February mumpo o file no March o file no a year a buying wo ho kwan say up until May 17 of 2024 obehye an audit ase with you the woman say in you file taxes na say bio ye ma wo so ana ye mebisa wasem bia enye so wafa ho adi aban wo ho up to 3 years na 3 years no so no what happens necessary mfans akabosumi na 3 years na so a wo munya send you notice na ye say ye hye audit na se nko ade a afa de 3 years no etu agu it is up until when na wo betumi awie audit no ena wo mo be close wa asem enti ehu hia say wo ye taxes na we are very careful with it near because we filing na 2 years and throw near a year. It doesn't mean say because they have up until then to look into the tax return. Another thing and so me pese ye share no and so ne say so what the car a buying wo ho kwan say e ka bia wo de no they have 10 years to collect. Enti so what the car ene enye wa adwen say mentua aban wo ho kwan emrama no ho kwan say up to lemfie du ombetumi adi wakia agye wo sika most of the time the koba ne say wo hwe na wo ye adwuma obehu ne adi bibia koma wo adwuma efo say esra kofi antobam wo de yeka ontua nti busumi bia formula bi wo ho wo de be ma wo mo na aketua de be ma obi as maybe montimu 5% mfamre na wo de ya but they have up until 10 years to collect on any taxes or the cow home. Makana said they have up until 3 years to audit you. But 3 years no normal be 3 years no cano. And normal be up to 6 years no more. Ebine say, emfan say usika unya ye na asem ka usika no 100,000 just for an easy calculation. But after no usika unya 100,000. But we report to taxes no so no. We report to 75,000 and now say less. If you reported less 25% of your income, no less on your taxes a buying wo ho kwan say enye 3 years bio ye was 6 years say almost hwehwe audit ni mu na ye behwe say nti a wo ye nti say osika a wo nya ye no the report ye no ye 75% of it now no it moves from 3 years to 6 years for them to be able to audit you after so wo your money wa hanom na wo assets bi wo o mindful for so a na sika wo nya free sa asset no ho no 5,000 or more no one fan count tax return who file and also no they have up until 6 years to audit you, not the 3 years. After so one more taxes no mu say ade we de kana na de bi no obi aya fraudulent tax return I know there is no time limit on it. Omunya shase hwehwe ade no mu say fraudulent wo mu a they have until whatever time it do honum say time no mpo atwamu a they will take you through the court system and summon you to be able to audit you. Enti here say you share your taxes the same new year. Ade ba ko ne say busuafo o tax return say one na obe prepare o the be kwa komo obi no prepare ma na a charge you you are liable for what is on the tax return. Enti sometimes obi your tax return ma wa o say o me de minim and once you can say me sign ha na me sign ehia say busuafo obi ya tax return mawa bisa questions so wonti no ma bia sia bisa because sebio wode bibi kwahyehyemu na wunya sika wo de wagi sika na dio asemba ho a yen kase Koffi Antobam na prepare ma wo e be kan say no won na prepare ye aban wo kwan on Koffi Antobam be dele but wo a eye wo tax return no e ka bia wo ho no eye your primary responsibility nti ehu hia say you making sure say the acquire tax return mu bia no ye behu aya na ye ni age refund a ye nya ne hu nti sometimes no sika send menya benya 3,000 and no na ye ni age ho but kwan ye fa so ye nya 3,000 ye time semu minya experience bia na me ye obi tax return amano na o ye say Kofi ade no last year me nipo ye ma me no minya 5,000 afi nso mi sika mi adwuma mi sika mi nya nesa mi nim sa afi we de se mi sika no refund no kosoro nso ya ma mi wo se ade no menya 2,000 pe enye papa kra ade na wo ye ne sa ne na mi nia okay for last year de no bre me na me hwe de me hwe ne se mi hu last year de no de m ko hu ye ne se ade no oni akro ye ma no de share so se wo business bi na business no wo no wo boka 10,000 enti tifli ni sika no so ma sika na eso tua taxes wo so na ekoye less ena me bisa oni across na anya bia ade we de enti a wunya 5,000 last year is because o boka o business we are we 10,000 we say business ben me say no tax return now the brand me na kire say wo business o boka 10,000 wo so was me de me ni business bia den na wo so me hwe ya ese no otompaboa na mpaboa business na wo ye no wo boka 10,000 ni ti a wo mu America ne se ekire no de koba ne se IRS portro no wo frɛ oni akrompo ede ade na kire no se masa ade na wo ye ma me no yesise ni se wo frɛ na wo nye oni akro ekowi ase no wonya $5,000 ni fees tax return ni mo that particular year ade no ba wo mo be audit no want me am produce no ma no he ended up paying $8,000. Enti mesre obi yema wa don't just take it on face value. Don't look at how much awunya no. Tiasie bisa questions because asemba ho a ebeye wo awasema. Eno ma bi e wo hande me jump ne yakọ enimu. Last part we na me de manu asi. Eye no ma bi a me pese ye hye no nso a wo file wo taxes eno ma bi a ya IRS wo hwehwe a ana wo state hwehwe a omu hu no na ase omu ya de omu ni aba so se ye nkọ hwehwe nipa we ya de mu eno nkyere se wa ye mfumso obi ba sa no ma no omu nya hu pe na raise some concerns bi na ase omu be hwehwe ono mu first thing ne se you did not report all your income. The woman say ejuma bia woye no. So woye ejuma ni etua oka paycheck at the end of the year ni amount W2. W2 na ye de ma no. Ye de bi koma IRS for. Enti before wo file your taxes na IRS for nim se Kofi Antoban wo ye ejuma wa ha ye ejuma wa ha ye nya ejuma wa ha no. Sika onya ye na say ye 50,000. Enti o tax return ye nsa kan ya na so ye hwa. Ese 50,000 na esu onya or report 30. Ni a shase eno ese okay me enko hwa deal and then happen ya 30 pen or report. So we ye wa ankasa wadwuma a maybe adwuma no we ye ma obi as an independent contractor na ye tua o car at the end of the year be ma 1099. So 1099 no so no ye de bi kokoma aban enti ni tia wa mu ne se usika bi a wunya no if you report less per it raises the antenna on the IRS side ebetumi amoma pick you up say ye be audit enti yenhye no so afa say wo business ade ba ko wo business mu okromu ha no wo business there are a lot of advantages to it and they say expenses be bre wo hono ma obetumi atete na ama usika na ubetua taxes wo so no aye very less na ama o taxes obetua no so aye den aye ketewa bi eno ma mienu na mpese me kafa eno no ho say o yourself employed now you only focused on say, oh, my taxes and pese mtua na mpese ye less na enu nti oh ubetumi ate expenses bi wo ho no ma ye fine line no atete ni nyina afrim na ma usika mfaso a wonya na ye ketewa bi the kire ne say o taxes a obetua na ye ketewa bi na sa taxes no say o yourself employed and no ne dey to for social security amount enu nti the less you pay no the less you get when you retire. And nuntino we are self-employed be careful. Expenses be on obetumi ate na ma taxes awutua na ye less. So obetumi ate no legally tete. Ba na sika na awunya no bo modern say wodi bi beto ho wa bie another retirement account bi a wodi bi tum. Eni sika no because one way ya daache no because taxes awutua na esu aninti no untumi nya you won't get what's the name? Social security benefits papa. Now wo fear now office wo fear yes utumi tete o mortgage ni bi utumi tete o electricity bill ni bi as business expense ni normal eno ye one area IRS for sure o mani kuhu yie pa because wo fie na obi wo no fa bill ni nyina me fan say me electricity bill ye $200 wo me fie hanom no afa 200 ni na wa charge no to business no there be the woman say wo fie na you no as officer wo ho kwan say o tete eno ma bi. But the normal, no, you only have to deduct it in proportion to a fee, no. Baby, our your business. And if I say fee near 2,000 square feet. Now, baby, our office, no one may say 500 square feet. So I divided 500 no by 2,000. No any percentage, no what is our percentage, no as a electricity cost. E will fee hono. And here say, yeah, careful in so business. I will operate from a fear and no maybe yes ebetumi ama ani aba ho afen so wo business now business no say a business but afi bia wo de ka na wo boka first year o mo ntai ni problem kase because maybe afi no ahya ase second year wo boka na o madwen yem say ade business pa de ana say kofi ye bibi keke say de be obetumi atete sa no ma we nyina na ama ne wotumi pocket sika no but ade ba ko mo hwe kese pa ne say ye business within the last 5 years, 3 of the 5 years, you must make profit. So 3 of the 5 years, then they can call you and tell you it's a business, and a real business, because a hobby be now, you are only using it to just cheat the government in a way. Inti careful, and also afi and no maybe large expenses. Afibi wo hono ma wo si wo maboka say what they do they say and can't why I'm from so but they look at it and ask say okay so Kofi Boka the business we maybe accounting business no usually no a year expenses being how was the size of the expense so they are unusually higher ube hu no money about so they could pick you up for an audit near baba hwehwe wo no mamu and unti so our business ebusuafo mesre keep detailed records. But modern say we keep good records. So our business I may advise say be a bank account for business. No, sike be able for business. No man go into sa account and fam make so personal normal. Say who tuatua no man so pay it out of that business account. So person or credit card de turn no maybe back for business no. Try to separate your personal norma from your business norma because say asemba ne ye frewa afi ni e behwehwe wo ankasa wuntuo mpo ne norma anka ense so wo mbehunu mu your personal norma. Enti yenye careful on those kind of things. You had unusually large business expenses. Maken ho asem. Afen so last year 2020 adie we call so pa nipa bebre sha se delay in stocks ne norma. So what delay in stocks at the end of the year ne yebebro 1099B. So what ton bia. And also ne yedebre wa ne de bia koma IRS. Enti you must report a normal no de what ton yemfa so wunya said de be ya obetumi atua a free capital gains taxes say we on that capital gain for so wunya ye no so tua ho taxes enti ni nyina no wo mo hwe so wotonton sa no mani bi wo delay in stocks na so one report to it me the asem ebrewo e mo pick you up for an audit last year so ya sha say atiti bi bitcoin any other cryptocurrencies and also ya de ba ko a wo mani ekun yie pa afi mpo no taxes I file for last year no omu introduce question ba ko bi wo mu say answer yes or no say nipa na o taxes na man no did the person deal in cryptocurrencies or answer yes fine omu nim o answer no omu nim enti yen share no so make sure say wo report no man nyina as you should so o me ma donations bia sa donations no so no make sure say o wo ho no ma obia o deduct so itemize o ade na wo deduct bibia a donation $250 or more you must have a documentation for it documentation won't change say pick up for an auditor na okoje letter no make sure say by time I will file audit a tax no na why wo ho backup no and san wakwa claim sa ade no say enoma enye sika na ode ma maybe efie noma bi na donate on cash items and so say value no 5,000 or more as a sawunya an appraisal for it untumi mbo sabio wosire mu nkasa ade na 5,000 na me ko donate ye ho enhyehyeye bi ededa ho afei say we make a lot of money nyame minim say that along the line obi hira yam yeduru ho but in 2019 no ade ba ko no mo de ye yastic pan say nkofo mo make 200,000 or more up to 1 million no one less than 1% of those people and almost pay for audit but one more make 1 million or more no 2.4% near pay one more for audit obi you are even making just 50,000 a year but you could be picked for an audit in tienshan and so audit no so we errors bi wo mu maybe math wo kika no mo bi abum no wan kika mo mu ye and now ye error and no so tumi me pick up for an audit so maybe ade no obi wo say o me estimate me nyanya ade no but minim say economy bo be almost be 1,000 no why ye so normal tax returns or numbers no you always rounded up to say 200 1,000 500 whatever it we ma any ba ho say say no kresa wo ye no ma enye entire si say sika wo de ma ya na e ka wo boy na ye rounded number pepe pesa enti no so ye no ma bi a ye now you pick up for an auditor quickly no ye be bra letter no be can say why ye pese udi say ni say ebreye adofo no say obi na ye ma wa won saka letter na bomodin say sa nipa kro no de letter no ebe kire no na obe frɛ no de ama no na oni natumi adi hu nkomo na gather records be almost fabra no put it together and mail it back to them most tax issues no wonya tro omo tro na o gather no ma no na no omo se fabra no de ka ho de kwa omo hwehwɛ mu ebi wo ha ne asan tro say ye da wase ye close our case no ebi wo ho antiasie bibi na en look right for wo no ma ye ba wo tena so na wo mpesa wo de no ma no be kwa na ama wo mani ahyase ye ba wo ho enti ye nhwɛ saa no mani ye bi wo nso ye be kan say oh ye hia se ye ni wuhia eno no mesre se ye pick up for an audit na ehia so wo ni wuhia unless all your tax professional don't go yourself pe obi a what taxes ase na mo woni wo nko because sometimes we be hu ani ebisa question bi a oni be ba ho so no akomite wo ho bibia na nka ense se wo be komite wo ho on enti ye nhye enu nsie me de ma asem no ba wie na busuafo 1 Corinthians chapter 10 verses 23 and 31 say All things are lawful for me, but not all things are helpful. All things are lawful for me, but not all things edify. Inti ye Christopher. And no ma bebre wo ho a yaba krom ha yi no many experiences bebre. Obi wo ho ya ne taxes I was ma menye na wonya 1,000 nka ho. Woni ba. Nanso ye de obi ba hye so ama no na wonya sika wo ho. Ade bi wo ho no woni business. Na the business ahye so ama no na wonya ho emfaso. Ebi a ene wo befa wo ho adi o. Ewo nipa anim. But ye nyankopon anim no. Now you are not being faithful. Now you're not credible. Now you're responsible. Now saying, buying yes, say corona buy PPP or more may no. Obi wo hono ma chese when nim set documents or they kwa jisika ni bi no pa no enye papa. And so no they are because they say they yanhwehwe mu. Na yanhwehwe mu mpo a ewieye no. Onyankopon na oye accountable to. Bisa ho say ntidie wo ye no eso onyame ani. Because the last verse will say, therefore, whether you eat or drink, the ye bia or say, yenye manisha unyankopon animunyam. Mempa ibon say, nyame bebuaye. Ya sitna okrodu yemu hanom no, the ye bia no, emeye nhwe nipa emfanye. Esa nso unyankopon ene ye accountable to say the theme no kan no, where life meets lordship. And ne IRS for the omu mfiu. Echina obi ama mebo odin but onyankopon na yedi nachi no ohu ade nyina nanim ena hese yegina clean enye onipa eniso nyame nhira yen wona domunti amen.
Amen. Amen. Wow. Elder nyankopon nhira obebre. Adi for responsible and faithful stewards where life meets lordship. So what was in Bisabia, if it to me at the Abba, would you say Elder Yakad or so back with boy questions? No, you won't just see the what can you know? With me at the questions up.
Me person me can be kakra. I say contribution, but I say a question be Sabia with the task knowledge, you know, obey to me abu ame kakra. I'm saying who can be yeah, I'm saying who can be say yemwana family no and build the credit na Sabia wo yire ne o mabisa no na bia wo de umoja kutwaso na chese o mo build good credit. Eye say the osi can say eye pa because ubua uni anu the finances share sentemo na koya keye. But Ghana ni namsa uye ni busuani no otimi hwe wanim sa na oye se because makosa student loan be miensa ebinumu ba ebia omo musika doso pa no amekosa ye omo tuetua ne kama but the ba kubi wo mu a chese okop medical school pre-med and amekosa 10,000 man no. They say 10,000 na that $20, 20,000. Yeah, me consider say me new about enti na me ya mano. Say I almost on better free the bank account. When we medical school our year adwuma. The bank account to crown so omo komwa sikano enem. So they say me susme call retirement me nim se bia benya effect wo me retirement pay so that's and I just say ultimu say bua no say obekọ no akoyeye enti by similar token no say bia yemfa say ukunu ana wo yire na bia opese obua no o se me yire nti ontimi fame nkọ abemu ye SDA for ontimi fame fa kwan bi so no asel say ukọhwe me credit recorder non payment nkọ ani be problem ndi nyina nso so ye for loan am ko sign no so enti just din kakra said you can a very good idea so bua nipa omo ben but unfortunately nipa omo ben no so ana omo take you for granted 80 million no maybe na ya sell record so na minim se bia any parents so we medical school grab 3 years ni minim se bia there's any measures bia make me take care
Openyi, me that's for your question. I'm sorry to really hear that, because that is what has become a challenge for young Ghana for. Seriously, I am not you take it for granted. And you want to say, I don't want to do it because we take advantage of each other. It's just unfortunate. Say, you are kuma muna wabua obi na woma na affect you say. Say, yeah, good stewards in Pono. I want to say, he's not been a good steward, because to mint now say unia air boao now no wo sama or no akwa chireno. Now it's unfortunate. Will remedy that's the challenge with co-signing. So when you co-sign, not only a crown to ya, because co-signing, and that is the basic idea. Say, okay, in case say Kofia or co-sign money, on to mean to ya, also na sudi no eba beda. I am not adding. Sometimes we do something pensuya. What some people do, and they say, they get to a point and they just file for bankruptcy just to restart woman all together. But bankruptcy, so no komua, well, record also for bear 7, depending on the type of bankruptcy. And yet the best route to go. O can say, one my yes, almost per se, almost shall see a penny, Trust me, they are going to look for him. What the NSA keep talking to the loan company, and they will be able to market against the wall. They will fish him out, and they can send a garnishment to a Jumamuho to try to start taking the money out of their account. That is one of the remedies. The Namekano say hono, and don't get me wrong. I was really talking about say over to me a nucleus family as some America. Yeah, true. In terms of one way you ni wukuno. The emi say sometimes you bakrumu hanoma sebio sebe misreka. Aya na say I got an competition. Okunu ni oyire ntem. Enti bibi anka obetumi aya aboa wukunu numpa na bibi obetumi aya aboa oyire no. Eya na say yempese yebeye. Abrofo no ade ba ko a wo ye ho ade pa no eba ne yire ne ma ne yire ne ma obetumi aboa wo to build a creditor obehunu wo ye. That encouragement no na mpese ye nyina se ye nye sa no ma na ye nhya ase ye nye. Enti the best thing na obetumi di ahye sa ade na say to say credit card. Enti credit card no me say maje ba ko a me ne me yire ne me ba ne wo so ba me ba de no na eni ne ho until recently na ye dia man just because of a particular reason na eno nso no wonim se wo de to ade ba akopɛ yes so wo de to gas pɛ anytime bibi charge bi be ba so enye gas for car no card no free wonsem and she say mutumi ye nje ba de ye ne say by the time we do 18 na ja tumi aboa na build the credit kakra enji opanyi. That is what I was alluding to. Ye busuya ye nuclear family no in that wise. Eba an external idea, mesre. Yes, nyame se ye moaboa ye ho ba ye me ye ni nso na ho. In terms of student loans, no, sometimes they be mo ye ne say, okay, Kofi semester amawa. I require you to obey life insurance. Enti oje life insurance policy na one name me also. In that case, no, you can fall on it. Said you will free mumpa. A policy no so you can fall on it to try and take care of debt. No, and that is what sometimes some people do. And yes, answer plain. I is unfortunate. Na affect will be that because me say it will be DVD me credit card once and will be DVD me because na me here, but na me the buoni across on the school fees. If we are seeing no one person will be here. Eme kodane eme so asem a me ye na de ma no ye say free honum no afi obi hia mo mpo na me mpese me boa along the line nyame boa me se sans adwen no de, but I'm very careful with who I co-sign or do something like that for going forward.
Yo open me da si bebre just the o kan me tia say a nuclear family no mom but o say Ghana for an temptation no was say extended family no so ebiana we are make any papa bi da enti me okaye no na was me rashi so ana cheze ma ye bia ma nipa bi a omadi no kure a cheze o musika no kura ye mo so enso so say me san ye bia mu a ebe di kra
yeah
enti be da asibebre yo
opanyi aseda onyame enti ye nyina sabio ya futuo mai obi so wonsa obi dom a emma no ho enkonko kire no mpamcho. Any other question or contribution?
That's if my question elder say okoji credit card maybe a financial amount maybe at 10,000 so na say o pese o use sa credit card no be a person o pese use be say 5,000 most the bank now at the brow say okay every month be a pese o tua this amount of money. I'm talking about credit card and no sa no say what tua no say the tua no say the more kana. Does it affect your credit score? As opposed say, who say credit card, no, say say the beer say, and I say the beer, on say a code to zero na, and I say what you turn a crack because min mubia, emra or call yes, I know, or take 5,000 out of 10,000 credit a year. I don't bend the breakdown. So okay, every month be a no say. As so nafi ne credit score no confirm ne say. Afemra or ye na just okay let me, I mean call ye na mean clear or clearing in the way no ano. Na sati e kosro enti na me dwene ho se a akobia kutwa pepepe de den kai wo se nke ye yinti sa kwa no so no se na ho tiase ne wo that's it.
Yo doc that's it. Se wutua okay bank no oji credit card now you sua the ombeka chiro se tua no that is the minimum no. If you are paying the minimum and you are paying it on time, it should not negatively impact your credit score. Enti onipa krono there could be say it appeared say enona affecting, but it could be say there was something else on the credit idea enona na affect credit score. But say wutua minimum no mo situa no. Now you say due on the 5th, not consistently wutua on the 5th now. It should not negatively impact your credit. Now zero no de omon kan se tua zero se omu benya pa de bia na de omuka de bia na de omuka because they get more interest out of that enunti no se wokokoje a na make na 0% a eno de obetumi atua no se de oye bia but se enye 0% a this is the other thing abusuan for se sika na enye 0% a na member say 10,000 example ya de my meko use 5,000 no bosome no so due date no mentua 5,000 ni nyina na mi kotua me fan say 200 me de ka 4,008 so 4,008 no so interest rate here 5% a ya sha say calculate 5% no on interest rate no e bi wo ho no ma e friend no compound interest sa na credit cards no mo nye simple interest enti balance e wo ho no omo calculate no da bia o balance anaka ene se na e wo so echina se na e wo so adechi na omo calculate mfan se ene ya calculate na interest no $10 ne dia beka 4,800 no na 4,810 echina no ya calculate a 4,810 so ne ya calculate interest no adechi se na no ye 15 na say o kana akwa 4,825 ne ya calculate no sa 5% no na enti wani be ba wo ho so no na 5,000 no enua in itself no se wutua minimum no kwa na do ko 10,000 enti wutua minimum no kwa dia na upem uyen on timer na se ukohwe credit score report na eno na cause the decline in your score na call the bank and talk with them because and you're right me that's
it.
Hello. Mbacho mo bibi kakraka.
Okay.
Uncle Kofi, thank you very much for this program. It's been very helpful. Then Dr. Jessica Nambe Pase, Medeka Kraka Hune say, I think that you mentioned it, but maybe it was also hobium because 10,000 that's all 5,000. We should also not forget the percentage, the utilization, because I feel like that also affects your credit score.
Yes, Angie, me da se pa. And until I'm say make us and him no make us say someone say 10,000, that means 50% no agio. And say 50% of 10,000 F5 no. But what experts advise ne say at least make your utilization 30% maximum. And until said Angie can maybe a home na affect you on your account because now we use 50%. Or also I was saying tria de yesi wontua na enti technically na ni beba ne ho so no na utilization no abro 50% no so because interest na ebe keka ho no afi na wo ka no enye 4,008 bio na akodru be 6,000 because wotua minimum no nkwa I bet you within 3-4 months wo ka no betumi abro 5,000 na wo je ye no so akọ esoro enti na ma wo utilization na free 50% mpo eco 55 enti like Minia Bano was saying, that is a real effect on credit scores. Me that's be Angie.
That's it.
You're welcome.
I did it for question no Edruti. You see, just know how so mama you say questions now for
But there'll be any question, BMA. But one thing I wanted to also, I don't know, Sam Kofi talking more about it, rebuilding your credit. Because we talked about how our credit I say and as our cost, but I think that's a important. There's a chance of rebuilding. To me, I go deep about that for my be crediting at this point.
Angie, me that's it. Yes. Adie bia said the one ashase no. Bibi koba na impo a you can still rebuild. Now, depending on the extent what caused or credit to go south what measures be a obetumi ateki. So bankruptcy now file there are some measures be obetumi ateki to rebuild it. But me hope say emu bi enya ade yakọ bankruptcy nti yemma back to normal and normal. Maybe you credit asay because of a kabi a okokoje ena one thing who entria and I said no panyimpo ekan no wako co-sign ama obi ena oni akro entria nti no akọ affect your credit score. One of the things first thing as I say you need to call the company you need to talk and then map out a planner sa issue na ewo hono you can fix it. So one wipe the off entirely. Now no woman yen shishaya. And one said that wa de so sa. Into one major step ne say talk to the creditors. Ebi wo hono ma yesi uka no edaso yesi untua enti nie yesi. Sometimes they can negotiate with you. Normal can chose okay e kano 10,000. But so utumi abetua 5,000 na. Ye be hye de aka nagu. Na afa die yabomodin afa efiri honom no wo tumi de rebuild. Now, and also one a caveat because you forgive you 5,000 na at the end of the year no you be bro bi you honom you would be file taxes say you forgive you 5,000 enti aban require was say na ye ka wodi anka yese utua but ye de chair wunti no in quotes income to you in the SL report account tax return na utua ho taxes so but a better that way so betumi an negotiate ya bring no down na watua free ho na a correct sa or how no affect your credit na a better so be ne sa na at least what the kind of taxes ho effect no nhye da nye kese bebre no watua taxes ho no aye ne sa afei so obi wo ho no ma wo de say a ye fra bibi secured credit obetumi de rebuild your credit and they say obetumi akọ bank ho bank a wo bank with them no almost so credit nyinti no ye ntumi ma any credit line but I was okay my bank account me savings here and I'm checking with me $1,000 at least 10 dia a demuntino. Munjina 1,000 no so mumma me a card a 500. And no dear, I say, Usika na down ni ejina so de ama obibi. Na fe de wa sha ase na wo de ye no man kakra, but the key no ne say, de wodi ye bia bomoden se wo hu sika no. Ana wo enidas wo se sika no eba. Se de be ya edru se wo betua na watumi atua ma na firi hɔ no wotumi yɛ ne saa nkakra na afei deɛ show say ani that in previous time yeah na wo credit ayɛ saa wontua wo no manye but bibi wo ho say show say Kofi ahyɛ aseɛ na yi wo ye payment on time wo ye no on time nkakra na ɛboa process no nso. And you know those are a few things I think say you can do to rebuild your credit. Anywhere it is lost. SAR, you can build it, but the woman say you need to talk, you need to dialogue with the bankers, you need to dialogue with the lenders and figure out a way I'll be to me I rebuild the idea and kakra. You will get out of it and then you start rebuilding a view. Any other comments you want to me as to ways the floor is open. Meaning say there are a lot of other people who have other thoughts and so I bet me the floor is open. You bet me check.
Hello, Mpacho. What do you mean?
Me Pacho ane.
Yeah, the nyame do asiye pa. In fact, send us here my presentation. Very, very good. Nyame shirao. Now, my question, ba kuna na me busa say, say nyame enimini. And stewardship day na individuals no wa boa ye pa na asafo no so no e fa budget ho de no e kwa be so na de be boa ama individual churches because members na na ewo mu no and to educate ye no na ka boa ya asafo no so de kakra na ama atimi aboa ma asafo no so se bia budget ni ebinom de mu a na nkomo so atimi operate that way no na ka atimi aboa na me question kakra no.
Yo, openi me da se. Say budget there. Me obi a budget ehia me sin bibia. So we can sorry the yen Riverside. Still an organized church, a company. Enti ni budget, but the last 3 years we've talked about it. You come out with a budget. Enti asasa for no se muni bia ehia se mutumi yebi. And normally we will honor some rent, no mortgage, no normal. It is what it is. But what me a budget now? Say, yeah, potluck umpo and normal. Sorry, them who cleaning. All the other expenses say what sorry ni muno. Yeah, printing programs. Yeah, whatever you do money no. Here say sorry no. Mutumi yen sheshe. Obetumi apeke mo bank statements no ma every month say ni expenses be ni incur na ma list sa no mani nyina no ma hyase e de aye budget afei so in doing the budget no church budget na yesika apart from tithe no yen offering na ye the support to church no so no eboa mo ye budget eboa mo mu hu say okay afini nyina no asemka budget eba 50,000. And it's a church budget by 50,000. Na your rent, your mortgage, your normal, you can in Abumunsoa. A show say, as I said, you 55. Naturally, say, I saw no more boka. You are operating on either borrowing from somewhere and a multimedia in a bois, say budget more. It to me, it helps in promoting the financial needs of the church. In Tibet, to me, I am a department be deacon for music for obia be na budget di aba moke kambo mu a no mahe income no so at least based on the previous year and the previous 2 years no what came in no betumi di no a starting point na ma money asafo na tumi adi nkomo se abusuafo se betumi arane asori ya this is what we need na ma yetumi aye nhyehyeye se afori ne ebo se nipa no ne educate se de be ya given be improve a ni etumi ayesa no mani nyina nti sa asafo bi wo ho a woni budget I believe budget is so important. You need to do it and you can just start by taking your bank statements for the last 2 or 3 months, look at the expenses you are incurring, and then just list those. A good idea on what you are spending. Send and say a Zoom buy. Ubia wo Zoom biana for sorry no. Utuya honka because you need 100 or more participants there no. Utuya honka. Sa no mani nyina okay kambo me print programs. Ye no ma sa no mani nyina ye tuya honka. Enjopanyi said the ebusua ehia se woye wo sika ho nhyehyeye no. Sa na sesa asore no so yetumi come out with a budget a big guide how we are spending. Ade ba ko eno so ye de boa ne se asore no ye budget na mutumi the eco board ni agi atum na afi de aba asafo nanim business meeting ni agi budget na tumu a eboa ye ma treasury for no any asore mpanyimfo any osofo mpo no eboa ma wo mu nso dwumadi etumi koso enye saa asa ye be ye bibia ye afi ne san de ba church board say church board for approve ansa ne etumi akwa saa dewe ba utumi ye budget na emma asafo osofo ne asore mpanyimfo ne treasury no kwan say as long as I approve a dewe say etumi spend it up to 2,000 on visitors. Womu wo ho kwan nye no na afi na tambia no mo de ba. So that's another advantage as a church if you have a budget I think say eboa enti ehu hia say asafo no nso yetumi ye bisi ye ni bia me da ase opanyi.
Yo me dinya me do asi bebre pa.
Okay. Well, yeah, I will allow last question and answer contribution now for Eddie Jumadino Abba. Okay. So Bini was also there. And now. Okay, good. Elder, I say what finish your cry on my ati very short times. What me I can no more me and suffer, but say, every one pukra. Me pacho me say we teacher baby, I know your professor na.
Me pacho Debbie, I the ready and come up. Me no. Nyami adum.
Me shall pa say oba mu papa. Me shall. Ibijina so for na mu say pastor obeka akra obekasa. So for na mu ni aso pedi for na mu ni stewardship department. Ne Greater Hartford ne district na me say ne nya visitors be free Germany. Sister Dr. Angelina by California for be by and I feel so no Bridgeport ne Boston for nyina so obetaya chi. Ya me shall nyina say obaye na mu gidi say the menya me chefa no so nya chefa na we have to be that responsible and faithful stewards. And no any asem na me nam elder so e dey amai. Pastor, but you say obey the vinya say wakra ho na obeka aka ho an sana e dey gudina ba. I'm say unmute to phone no.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, Doctor, that's it. And yeah, Uncle Kofins, you better ask you say, I don't know, by now, time difference, no, impo, na, consider na, about a boy, na, the Yamia sense, oh, Nimdia or day, amount. You say, Yame, Adam, na, CDP, as you say, or the boy, Yamia Juma, and why any dear, senior, Training and it's up to us saying we are funny the way Juma and the major district and our name where you participate in a VA program yada Uncle Kofine anti-afi and then yada was years my baba boy na and then a conference no program for into if you're not on honor be brave no anti if be 5-10 years. Ebia etimi abasunti abeti part of it nti eda wase pa yi eda wase nyame hira
Yo pastor ne abusuafo me nso medam ase nyame na adom ye nyame adwuma and pastor ne mama de omunim me ne Angie omunim me pa nyame adwuma nti ba bia yebetumi aboa bia no ye nyina adwuma baako ne yeye me nso me dam ase se mo ma me akonya se me ne mo emechewe ya me enka ye ho no mo aye na ye nyina fra odi afra ye no ye betumi apa ye ho achi na ye na adwuma se ne onu nyame ehwehwe no me nso me dam ase bebre no kore me better half ne me ba on better me chi wa de no so echiri na me hu se o mo wo so enti me dam nyina amase
yo edasi enti ebibia ebe ma so for bompa ye na fe obompa ye de ama elda ma ye wo hia no pa na fo hia safo nyina na anse na so for bompa na gidi for yami adoma next week na final week na ye di dwumadiri na abawi ye me wo gidi se on beso be ye ho afiri na yami adom so a enchechire ka de aka no de ebe to aso na fe ye di ahye nyame animunyam da mo ase menim se empenifo no announcement for bi wo ho a ese ya no si ana pastor abompa ye e de amaye yo ene pastor mi announcement bi e no ntene be se na wasre nshirama panyi ko fini na busia ami sha mo pa
ene bompa ye nti kakra nso Uncle Kofi ne papa osofo Antubam se empenifo na really be kai no
amen
nyame aboa no ogina home nti asofo no ma no bi no Pachome bompa ye nyame tumfo ye da wase enwumre ye hye odi animonyam se wakai yen na onam obaso na obehye yen den omaye hu se achia nanso emuye sene esikasem eni asetena kodru bia no ukristo wo ho mayen omaye aboafo omaye kwankyere bebre do hwane se be siti amawo na fe ye siti enso amankyerkyere enti esrew nimdia odi ama akwana enwumre odi ama yen no boayen na fe ye ma no enyekwa nemu no be bia etosin bia no ye ma na trentre yen esre ede Kofi ehye wurade onsa wonim ba bia wodi na gina ti esre so obeka ne ho na fe obedom no responsibility kase a wodi ahye ne nsa wonyame no aka ne ho beto aso na waboa na mayen ne mperifo ene hyehyia abre biara oba uswa edru sa abre no ya ne kasamafo ne boafo akwan nyina mu akwantu ahoro a wotutu nyina no aka ne ho ne resha wonsa ne baka ho esro so obishra wo nyinara afi wadom wo se no brohu no ado yesitie stress and shrei amaye a yenya achefa wo osum yi mu anempo na pese be ba yenya ekwan esro so obedum na afu bishra obi biara yes ready mu dodo anti akwahye wo urade wonsa de biara da ye kai wo ati true covid obehwe obi biara so omo recover obeboa wonsa na yenya ahoden ede wose yeye odi enhye na otwe from esro se wadom ebeka yen ho bombo ebeka yen ho odi enim we ye fiesa ne nkonhye biara mu esro se betwe afibo akwaye bone bia ho na fe wadom aka yen ho na yetumi atranse yado ne ado afoforo nso we mobo na fe dum yen osumdwe tra yen so mobro ho nsa ne mfi yen so da biara da esro se hira yen so yetumi hira so ma afoforo asedenka udin so da so doye to enum kire hira ene ne da sanse abuso Yesu din munti amen
pastor edasi ne gidi for ye my home mespa
amen
yo ene bye edasi
Antio ene mame
acho yo ma ombeti omo was wo mate
nanti we na mehu na nimi
Mama, frau.
Who was a private friend? I'm sure I'll go be at that.
I also
Yeah. I want to throw.